There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. Younger man,
Last time one fight soldier.
younger man,
No fight soldier.
younger man. Yes, I'm a younger. Yes, I'm a to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. Younger man.
Last time one fight soldier.
Younger man,
No fight soldier.
younger man. Yes, I'm a younger. Yes, I'm a to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. Younger man.
Last time one fight soldier.
Younger man,
No fight soldier.
younger man. Yes, I'm a younger. Yes, I'm a to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. Younger man.
Last time one fight soldier.
Younger man,
No fight soldier.
younger man. Yes, I'm a younger. Yes, I'm a to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. Younger man.
Last time one fight soldier.
Younger man,
No fight soldier.
younger man. Yes, I'm a younger. Yes, I'm a to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. Younger man.
Last time one fight soldier.
Younger man,
No fight soldier.
younger man. Yes, I'm a younger. Yes, I'm a to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting is going on there. There is shooting, shooting, there is shooting. Shooting is going there. Nyongamo, Nyongamo.
Nasan, one fight soldier.
Nyongamo,
No fight soldier.
Nyongo, Nyongamo. Esamewa, Nyongo, Nyongo, Nyongo. Esamewa, to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. To where I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. Nyongamo, Nyongamo.
Nasan, one fight soldier.
Nyongamo,
no fight soldier.
Nyongo, Nyongamo. Esamewa, Nyongo, Nyongo, Nyongo. Esamewa, to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. To where I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. Nyongamo, Nyongamo.
Nasan, one fight soldier.
Nyongamo,
no fight soldier.
Nyongo, Nyongamo. Esamewa, Nyongo, Nyongo, Nyongo. Esamewa, to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. To where I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. Nyongamo, Nyongamo.
Nasan, one fight soldier.
Nyongamo,
no fight soldier.
Nyongo, Nyongamo. Esamewa, Nyongo, Nyongo, Nyongo. Esamewa, to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. To where I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. Nyongamo, Nyongamo.
Nasan, one fight soldier.
Nyongamo,
no fight soldier.
Nyongo, Nyongamo. Esamewa, Nyongo, Nyongo, Nyongo. Esamewa, to where I want. There is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. To where I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting, shooting is going there. Nyongamo, Nyongamo.
Nasan, one fight soldier.
Nyongamo,
no fight soldier.
Nyongo, Nyongamo. Esamewa, Nyongo, Nyongo, Nyongo. Esamewa, to where I want.
Hello, boss. Good morning. I just arrived. I left there at 12 something and I arrived here at past 3. My boys called me. It was around 1, but I couldn't text because I was on a bike. I was coming back. So they told me they are true. That was around 1 o'clock and they confirmed everything. But I still have to look for a means. I will send somebody who will go and have a picture for me so that I post to you. I'm back in town, boss. I'm back in town. When I take my bath, I believe when you see my message, you reply and we talk. I have so many projects. All whatsoever he told me, they'll be executed. A part of the one in Boya that was not all, it was not really done. But I believe the rest, the brasseries, you hear of it, the gendarme brigade, as I told you in that message. I have to execute that program tomorrow. I have to take them from checkpoint and take them to that brigade, and I make sure it will burn down. From that brigade, I continue with Timber, and Brasserie will be the last one. When I end with Brasseries, I have to rush down to Bamenda. If there is any complication or the program is not good, then you reply me, boss. I hope that's my mission. My boys, I'm fine with them. Yes, I always make them to feel happy. That's why they work when I ask them to do. When I tell them to do work, they do it. Because I make sure wheresoever I am, I always make them to know that if I'm alive, they will be fine. Thank you, boss. I'll get to you back. I'll give you all the details immediately as I go. But just know that tomorrow you'll hear of killing. I'll destroy any amount I see. I give you assurance. I have to put Kumba now in place. Kumba has been so cold, so cold. This my turn, is my place. I have to make it hot. They were looking for me, but now I'm the one looking for them. Thank you, boss. When you get to me, when you get on the phone, you let me know. Good morning.
Go! Small, 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 small. Small, small, so that we will do our fun.
Now, pass upon the way they just walk down. They don't know.
Put that down!
Now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you very much, my colleague, Mr. Edwin Foncha. I salute all una. I thank una for allowing me to come for una houses today for abroad. I see plenty people them for abroad, and the one them for our homeland, Ambazonia. The one the way they go watch later on. I want to salute all man or hierarchy for talk say all man he plays a day, and no man need the shake. I want to thank Benedictwa and the wonderful team who get them for EDF for save our country. I be very, very privileged for save in this capacity. And we'll not make them alone without the teamwork. I think the camaraderie we did amongst us for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, that really an inspiration, and I think it's already a bedrock for building a system really meant for serve our people. So I go one start today to talk about a little bit about our great state of Mezam, in particularly the capital city, Bamenda, where they in our focus today. But the fire where they burn for inside Boyo, it never already settled down. The grave for one of our brave soldiers, we happened to be my cousin, it too, the dust to never settle. And the grave for one of our brave soldiers for Bamenda, where he lost his life as well, it never settled. So I would like to talk more on what will happen for the great state of Boyo, and hope say we go still get the importance for fund Mezam. If I tell una the amount of bullets the way our soldiers did use them for Mezam for one day, it already shock una. But would they carry out an operation where would they call them say Operation Sleepless Night for make sure say every single day each of the 6 brigade them they routinely go around for carry out their mission, and would then set separate unit them for bomb unit, where they use explosive, sniper unit, track and delete unit, where they go to function independently from the 6 different units the way they did for Bamenda. So, but I go on for update una about what will happen for inside the great state of Boyo, as our commander-in-chief, he then instruct me, say, make put that one as priority, irrespective of the agenda of today. So, I beg una indulgence. The attack, when I biggest invasion order experience this year so far, it big past the one where they be attacked for Mezam, for Bafut, La Republique used a total of 32 trucks according to our spotters them for the ground. The attack, if we start on the 25th, when a Tuesday for this month, they be lay ambush for two specific area them for that night for 25th when a Tuesday, and then they be launch the physical operation them. Would they expect the operation to go last about 5 to 7 days following our experience in the attack for Bamenda, in their attack for Kwakwa, their attack for Bafut. We don't realize and say La Republique, they not be capable for sustain a continuous operation on a large scale for more than 7 days. So we expect about our homeland, Ambazonia. The one way to go watch later on. I want to salute all man or hierarchy for talk say all man he plays a day and no man need the shake. I want to thank Benedictwa and the wonderful team who get them for EDF for save our country. I be very, very privileged for save in this capacity. And we'll not make them alone without the teamwork. I think the camaraderie way there amongst us for the Ambazonia Defense Forces. And I think it's already a bedrock for building a system really meant for serve our people. So I go one step to talk about a little bit about our great state of Mezam, in particularly the capital city Bamenda, where they in our focus today. But the fire way the burn for inside Boyo, it never already settled down. The grave for one of our brave soldier, we happened to be my cousin. It too, the dust to never settle, and the grave for one of our brave soldier for Bamenda, way he lost his life as well. It never settled. So I would like to talk more on what will happen for the great state of Boyo, and hope say we go still get the importance for fund Mezam. If I tell you the amount of bullets the way our soldier did use them for Mezam for one day, it already shock una. But would I carry out an operation where would call them say Operation Sleepless Night for make sure say every single day, each of the brigade them, they routinely go around for carry out their mission, and would then set separate unit them for bomb unit, where they use explosive, sniper unit, track and delete unit, where they go to function independently from the 6 different units that we did for Bamenda. So, but I go on for update una about what really happened for inside the great state of Boyo, as our commander-in-chief instruct me, say make put that one as priority irrespective of the agenda of today. So I beg indulgence. The attack, when I biggest invasion order experience this year so far, a big past the one where they be attacked exam for Bafut. La Republique used a total of 32 trucks according to our spotters them for the ground. The attack, if we start on the 25th, when a Tuesday for this month, they be lay ambush for 2 specific area them for that night for 25th, when a Tuesday, and then they be launch the physical operation them. Would they expect the operation to go last about 5 to 7 days following our experience in the attack for Bamenda, in their attack for Kwakwa, their attack for Bafut. We don't realize and say La Republique, they not be capable for sustain a continuous operation on a large scale for more than 7 days. So they expect about 5 days they will scale down their operation, and then they will settle down for specific locations, and we would already map them out according to our expectation, but we will still adopt the adjust ourselves according to how things are going to present themselves. So for Belo, for Njinkwen, for Belo, now for the way will be our intelligence be sure say they become for day for night for can attack, then launch the attack for Abu na some small village for inside Belo Day, where General Nji and General Bullet now they operate for those areas, they be attack their camp for Abo. And the whole that day, they use one day for attack their camp. They arrest a total of 400 civilians, them according to the information we get them for the civilian population and the religious leader them for day, and some of the traditional leaders them. All quarter heads they be arrested, and it be focused mainly on the local population. They not be trying to enter for camps. But the next day, they try to enter for Anyajua when as some other big area for the we get the main camp, one of the main camp where they control, and a place will be under total Ambazonian control. It don't be under Ambazonian control for a long time. They be engaged in heavy gun battle for the Ambazonian forces. Then they under the ARA. They not lost any soldier for the. They fight the whole day. The civilian, the way they arrest them, they still be held in Abo. Over 400 of them, they never release anybody from there. Even the one the way they want pay money, they never release them for day. So they get operation again for Anyajua today, where he go for the Pa Young. If you know Pa Young, now a very famous Ambazonian son where he done die. Now the man where get young sport, and thing when I know young sport, now he get the National Polytechnic University for Bamenda. Now he get Abakwa FM radio. Now he also get Progressive Comprehensive High School. Now he also get CH Bambui. Now a very big Ambazonian person where he therefore come there and destroy a property completely, then burn down the house. Now a big desecration for the people that for come and for the people that for Anyajua. The forces that for Anyajua, they don't hold their grounds. The two hills and where the battle be take place is still be under their control. And La Republic, they don't withdraw back for they don't go back with their troops and for Nginquin. Would they expect that they feel likely go back or they go see try for attempt to take those high positions them. So for Nginicom, La Republic, they be camp for night for that Tuesday also, then stay for instance Kempinying. That's one small village where they be there for prepare their ambush and their attack towards the camp when the British Southern Cameroon resistance forces their camp. It be commanded by General Gola, where he to the work with the Arake. Their camp they be there for around the area for Bichi. Now the battle be there. The first casualty be there for our side, then kill one of their soldier. Now a person who I know for a long time, now a cousin of mine. They be done leave their house for almost 3 years. He never ever come back for their house for fight for free our country. Most Ambazonian fighters, they might use the way they don't pick up guns. They don't leave their family, their wives, their children, never to return until Ambazonia be free. I hope say a story to go make a know the story for many of those boys who they call themselves and they for butch. Those are people who are not capable of visiting their family. Just like some of us who are in the diaspora, we cannot go back home. Even though those people are in ground zero, they cannot visit their family. Usually they will ambush them or they will have informants waiting for them to report them to La Republic in certain cases. So this guy, may his soul rest in peace. He lost his life there. The battle General Gola did a very, very good job. And they did not take his camp. La Republic withdraw from that camp as well. So this has been a big, big failure for La Republic that they could not, with those amount of troops, take over these two strategic areas that are still being held by sister forces in Ambazonia. Over 300 people were arrested in Wimbung. Wimbung is also a small village close to Nginicom. It's a populated area. Some of those have already been released, but some of them are still kept in open spaces. So those people, they are sleeping under the sun in Wimbung, in Nginicom. The battle also took place last night in my 36 with the forces of Gola. They were ambushed way to tactically, I think they were trying to withdraw. They had an ambush there, but the fort had nobody died. La Republic du Cameroon, we heard they sustained some injury. And General Ariki, I think many people want to hear what happened. He's the camp that he commands is in Benyi, and they tried to attack that camp from Beashi. They came through Beashi at night. They tried to attack that camp. They retreated back from that camp, no casualties on both sides. And those troops from that camp have gone straight to Bingo. So they go for Bingo Hospital with some mystical illness. So the toxics on tradition be there for that area where the traditional people they don't put them. So La Republic, their troops and they for Bingo Hospital. They contact them for that area. They don't confirm say that 3 of the Amoka they don't come for there with wounded soldiers and soldiers they waiting there for hospital from that attack. The Ambazonia Defense Forces will get a contingent of forces in Fundong. Those forces have not engaged in this battle. They have tactically withdrawn. When we pick up the intelligence on Tuesday, we will ask our forces, the medium withdraw. The main reason it be because those troops and just be deployed for Fundong in order of our stay, in order they see try for for create the various network and for be combat ready according to our standard. So we decide for withdraw those troops. Then we get a plan for do a roadblock and an attempt for ambush, but that mission also will be abort for reasons we are not disclose them for security reasons. But our forces are still in Boyo, and the location is still classified, but they are still ready, combat ready. The troops of La Republique, they engaged the battle right up to Boabua in Boom, and they retreated back. They are currently now located in 4 areas in Com. So we are monitoring the situation, and we will update our people as time goes on. Originally, we thought that 6 soldiers died, but we have realized that just 1 soldier had died. He has been buried. May he so rest in peace. While in Bamenda, we have had one of our greatest victory, which was an attack against the GMI. I think you guys have heard about that attack. La République du Cameroon have lost over 18 soldiers this month alone from our Bamenda brigade. We have had for the first time some of the pictures of wounded La République du Cameroon soldiers from Bamenda. We did try to carry them from airport. Those pictures will be shared subsequently within the week. La République that always try to hide their casualties for boost their troops, their morale. We don't struggle for bring in new bullets. The heavy guns and we will get them for inside Bamenda for strategic positions and will be meant for use for defend the airspace for Bamenda. Those guns and over still be used till now, and wouldn't get new bullets for those guns. And we'll be very grateful for the leadership for the ADF for provide those weapons them. And the greatest challenge we'll get for Bamenda are still bullets, but we'll still get sufficient bullet for carry us, but we need a lot of bullets. One day, for example, the EB classified, but my chief don't classify those information, but I'll be which I forfeit on the amount of bullets we use for one day for Bamenda, not just too much. Bamenda na the tip of the spear. Bamenda is falling because of our operation for Bamenda. La Republique don't limit the ability for attack other village area them across both the Atlantic state and the Savannah state. That they don't get not just 2 attack within this year when a major attack for Bafut and now for Boyo. Compared to last year, by this time La Republique began launch close to 8 full-scale attack where it get a whole, it be led by a general. We don't see the general that operate for inside Mezam State, for inside Pinyin. General Ka for La Republique last month, he be joined their troops and for attack for Pinyin, following a big blow for an operation where be led by General Efang himself in Pinyin. And we cooperate with we try to establish more relationship with the forces for Pinyin, because somehow they become a victim for that attack. Because after we launch our attack, we strategically withdraw our forces for Pinyin. La Republique, they let see that one like an opportunity for go after some of those forces the way they will be loyal to the IG for they then kill their general. So now we don't get good working relationship with them. Today we don't lock down Pinyin. Pinyin don't be locked down. All the main entrance into Pinyin have been locked down by our forces. And we also have some backup from the forces in Pinyin. So relationship with our forces and all the forces around Mezam is excellent. The forces in Mancon lost 2 of their soldiers because of carelessness. So we have extended our expertise to try to give them some advice. And they have been very happy to receive those advice. And we hope that they are going to increase their capacity as well. So we are really playing a great role around Mezam. In Bengui, we have also had great collaboration with our generals there. We had run an operation that has successfully led to the capture of 1 ex-combatant who was living with La République du Cameroon in one of their centers in Yaoundé. I want to take the opportunity to inform our people and say there is no such ex-combatant center in Bamenda. It is just propaganda. The last time they bring their soldier, the so-called ex-combatant, we challenge them to come for Commercial Avenue. They no become for Commercial Avenue. They be stay for up station for a hotel. For they will get the name for the hotel. We then get videos from inside the center where they for Yaoundé. Success in Congo and Nambere, then too, they stay for that center. They in a location in Bastos, close to the American embassy. We then get our operative then go inside the building and a mission where be supposed to neutralize them be aborted because of the sensitive area, the sensitivity around that particular area. But we still get the option for strike at that particular compound where they in the middle of Yaoundé. If we choose so, we'll still wait advice from our leadership. But we go to tell the people then for Yaoundé, me then close that center, the ex-combat center. The center they also hosts the minister of the so-called minister of disarmament for La Republique, Mr. Francis, I forget the other name. Today for that center, we will release those videos. They made them know our capability, and for ask them to leave vacate that building. So the operation across Mezam, it be very solid. The collaboration between the Amazonian Defense Forces and the other sister forces, it be very solid. The engagement with their representative and their diaspora representative, it be very, very. And I feel tell and I say if any other question there about Mezam, I go want for answer, but I want for really plead on behalf of our soldiers, say we need more ammunition. We understand, say the Dr. Chuayaba Bidan signed the provision of a minimum of 10,000 disbursement for our bullets alone, but we need more than that because the unit that are increase. We need more intelligent officers. Our bomb units, we need to expand our bomb unit with the plan way our general for Bamenda, the RAM presenter for we really need a lot of funding in a wider way. They set up this particular fundraising. So please, if una donate, may una know say they go for a strategic area where if it actually be the first urban area for fall under Amazonian control. La Republique they don't be limited to few control posts. They don't reduce the control posts, and now they use their armored car for those control posts. Them be very tight, and they lose very badly than they meet them. And we will show more and more evidence for Bamenda Day. And trust me when I talk La Republique, they lose fatly for inside Bamenda. So I beg una make una fund. If una one plan for give $100, make una give 1,000. Una not say na investment we una go to see the result for the ground. Our soldier they go to wait for get those results, and we'll get a very good team. I want to thank the Secretary General Ayamba for the team, our logistic team, Pascal Kiki. Also, in the sleep. Na person we una need to oversee for social media, but in the sleep. Our intelligent officer them for ground zero way. Then they now plain clothes, or they do a marvelous job. I think so. They rely more on them more than our soldiers. And our coordinators, the Ambazonia Governing Council, they don't give us a program for get a transitional authority for ground zero. That program too, it go very well. The community that they come up, the system all man be engaged. With the CC for Bamenda, our civilian coordinator, he go to come up small time people they go to know it, but it already become be active. They coordinate very well with the civilian. We hope say this go fill the gap, because for cases them way it don't come up for Bamenda. For several cases, then they try to drag our soldiers for handle things, and they need to handle them because of restriction from the Ambazonia Governing Council, the legal department for the. But we'll be very happy say they don't give you authority for set up the governing the transitional authority. If the Secretary General the areas I talk, I beg me if Mona forgive me for the terminology then, because no be a political post, no be a power base. Been a matter of practicality for the challenges the way to get up or down. And it will help we in particularly for area the way we control them, maximum control. There is no reason for us to control areas militarily when we can actually have civilian administrators who could have some transitional authority to actually start governing our territory. We currently have, I don't know if I can give the amount of small villages that we are absolutely control of everything in those villages. And why not us set up a system even for administration, for record keeping, and also to assist the traditional rulers who are there, the quarter heads who are there. And I think that is very exciting information. Let me not take away from the contribution, which is very crucial. Thank you very much, I yield.
There is shooting is going on there. There is shooting is going on there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going on there. There is shooting, there is shooting. Shooting is going there. There is shooting, there is shooting. Shooting is going there. Nyongamo, Nyongamo.
Na son, one fight soldier.
Nyongamo,
Na fight soldier.
Nyongamo. Esamewa, Nyongo, Nyongo. Esamewa, to where I want.
Thank you so much, Comrade Edwin. I want to seize this opportunity to thank the CIC for all the great work he's been doing. I want to thank my able Mama Wali, the woman who is the strength behind me, the woman who does not sleep, the woman who cannot go to bed when she knows that her kids are suffering. Mama Wali, ya place day. I give you 500 car armor car gun salute. Ya place day, Mama, ya picking the no. This woman, the cry, tears the flow for her eye like river, but it is still wake up. Dry those tears, look for solution. I just been a fraction of that woman. Ya place day, Mama. I want to seize this opportunity for plead for the population of Amba say make una support Meza. Una fit ask a little bit about me why woman the coordinate. Na pain, anger. It woke up the lion inside me. Not the lioness, the lion inside me. 2 years ago, my younger sister and the husband, I believe so another year, they be being health personnel. They come out work one camp, like the public forces, then kill them in cold blood, leaving behind 6 kids. From that day, it be ignites the fire inside me. I be cry, I woke up for down, I talk, say, if I want answer this picking them, the whereabouts of their papa, I must make sure, say, their papa and their mommy, I must make sure, say, I go find out who then killed this picking them. Now it set this fire in me. Initially, I be there for inside this struggle, but I be just there, I talk, say, maybe people, the way they be done study revolution, like Dr. Cho and the rest, I go just the support that they go before. But I believe, say, if we get to the point where if we need all hands on deck, now if we make her join the revolution. I join them because, say, many picking them, like my nieces and nephews, they out there, where mama no day, papa no day. No man no day for feed them. And for how long? How long we go continue for watch this population for orphans and make it continue? It hurts. It hurts. It make me at the sleep and not sleep. And honestly speaking, for if I sleep 4 hours a night, na luxury, because I get phone calls every day. Wait to wait it happen for ground zero. DDCS, it talks so 2 picking they be die for Meza when are out of carelessness. I'll politely correct and say now it be out of carelessness, but out of ambition. This picking they be dying not be because they be careless, but because they be no say they no be get sticks, they no be get gun they for fight. Time when they don't operate or finish, they go pick gun. Now for the way they are die camp. We all day for here. would you work, would you make an income? When they talk say, make you send everything for this speaking them. But would you just request for a little bit for support them? Because at least would you sleep for house away when they hear all this gun firing. If you fit imagine what parents and they go through, I believe say by the end of today, everybody go dig deep inside the pocket. It makes sure say make we put an end to this. Would then the win? Would the win big time? Would the win bigly? We now want to know why? Because the public terrorism they say we not just live with more day, maybe today. We not touch we not do anything for una. And that one be been at that time for COVID where it be the tide we material no be day. But now so that picking and get fire inside them. And they want to keep that fire burning. Mona support. If he never touch you, he don't touch your neighbor. If he never touch you, he don't touch your sister. He don't touch your brother. I plead on behalf of these boys the way that have sacrificed their lives. They make everybody dig deep inside the pocket. And if you count how many women under the ages of 28, they be widows. How many picking them under the age of 10 are orphans? Where these boys they sacrifice their lives so that we will get a free homeland. We will continue to sit for here, to look on, we stay on top fence, it not gonna take we anywhere. Dear brothers and sisters, at the end of the day, just lie on your bed and reflect. Make today be the day where you go think, you say, Papa God, you love me so much. You take me out of that land, you bring me for here. Wait till I do for payback for the people the way they suffer. If you think deep, you think where you be there, you think the prayer will be prayed before you go embassy for camp here. If it not prick you for your conscience, say make you turn back support, then certainly something is wrong. And I want to say, before we want to start this fundraising, some song the way my picking the singer, every time they sing that song, they light fire inside me. Mama no dey oh, Papa no dey oh. If you want to kill me, I kill you. I will never follow you to your kingdom. If you want to kill me, I kill you. I will never follow you to your kingdom. And the song that we are picking, they cry. They'll say, kill them. If they feel kill you, they'll go kill you. Wait, they go kill now. Wait, with rubber gun, with chavum. We could give them the AKs. When they sing this song, that fire they burn in them, they go out. Mezam no go disappoint una. I promise una. Mezam no go disappoint una. Everybody, please, una dig deep, more support Mezam. I don't want to take so much time. But I invite Takumbang women. Takumbang where una day? Usa una day? Na mami the light fire for inside house. Pikin they die all inside bush. Woman they born for inside bush. Takumbang una light this fire more end this struggle. Una light this fire. If una not light this fire, we go remain so. Even with loved ones, and when they die, we know if we go back, go bury them. I go beg for stop for here, but I go to talk as time they come up. Thank una plenty. I you.
Hello, boss. Good morning. I just arrived. I left there at 12 something and I arrived here at past 3. My boys called me. It was around 1, but I couldn't text because I was on a bike. I was coming back. So they told me they are true. That was around 1 o'clock and they confirmed everything. But I still have to look for a means. I will send somebody who will go and have a picture for me so that I post to you. I'm back in town, boss. I'm back in town. When I take my bath, I believe when you see my message, you reply and we talk. I have so many projects. All whatsoever he told me, they'll be executed. Apart of the one in Boya, that was not all, it was not really done. But I believe the rest, the brasseries, you hear of it, the gendarme brigade, as I told you in that message, I have to execute that program tomorrow. I have to take them from checkpoint and take them to that brigade, and I make sure it will burn down. From that brigade, I continue with Timber, and Brasserie will be the last one. When I end with Brasseries, I have to rush down to Bamenda. If there is any complication or the program is not good, then you reply me, boss. I hope that's my mission. My boys, I'm fine with them. Yes, I always make them to feel happy. That's why they work when I ask them to do. When I tell them to do work, they do it. Because I make sure wheresoever I am, I always make them to know that if I'm alive, they will be fine. Thank you, boss. I'll get to you back. I'll give you all the details immediately as I go. But just know that tomorrow you'll hear of killing. I'll destroy any amount I see. I give you assurance. I have to put Kumba now in place. Kumba has been so cold, so cold. This my turn, is my place. I have to make it hot. They were looking for me, but now I'm the one looking for them. Thank you, boss. When you get to me, when you get on the phone, you let me know. Good morning.
Thanks a lot to the great team. I feel like I'm not really wanted here. I was standing while listening to the DDC. This is the great thing about this family. You are no leader if after you, other leaders don't emerge. And I'm so proud that sometimes I listen to others and I like, why am I the president of the GovC? And I'm extremely grateful for the level of commitment. I listened to the deputy coordinator for MESAM explain his gun range experience. And I know that we are understanding. I don't think any of you here have been to battle against tyranny. I've carried a gun against Cameroon in Bui. I've carried a gun in Mezam, and I know to go map out an attack area. Somebody who was always talking about liberation. But the moment he got the assignment about deployment to map out the area before we come in, he felt very sick. When I was being moved into Dadi from Calabar, I reflected for a while and I said to myself, do I have a choice? I have to get into the homeland. So liberation is not a walk in the park. The outcome of liberation is one of the best things that any people have ever experienced. Freedom from tyranny. Freedom from a people who treat you like a slave, like you owe them child support. But how to get to that destination is the work of a select few. As I told you before, in the beginning of this enterprise, there were so many. Some wanted something else. Some were agitators. Some for the first time could speak and be heard. Some for the first time could simply position themselves. But what it will take to gain Ambazonian independence is the work that is being done by the Ambazonian Governing Council and the Ambazonian Defense Forces. My people, thank you very much for committing every time we call for this meeting. Your war of liberation is well, as I wrote the other day. The defense forces are doing well. I can't talk much again because we got the finest defense brief yet from the DDCS. But we're praying for the people of Boyo. I have commissioned Comrade Capo Daniel to find out exactly what we can do in terms of support. I have also communicated with commanders, and I have gotten some requests on my desk. We will work on it. We know the strategy of the occupier. It hasn't got enough troops. It selects battleground, and I have always advised commanders not to present to Cameroon a battleground because they will fight for a few days and they will leave. But the scorched earth policy that they use in different areas, like burning of our villages, burning of homes, executing civilians, torture, the last act of a regime that has been defeated. Trust me, if you are winning, you don't have time for the kind of activities that Cameroon is engaged in. On the ground, the block by block strategy has made it impossible for Cameroon to exercise political control. That is quintessential for the art of occupation. It has made it impossible for Cameroon to stamp its authority over Ambazonia. We are in charge. It is difficult to quantify it when you articulate it. But when you sit and watch what is happening on the ground, sometimes the United Nations does not call Yaoundé. It calls us if they want access. A few days ago, they called the Secretary for Human Rights and Humanitarian Affairs. And we support, we are in charge of the land, so we provide the kind of support that is needed. I tell you this so you know to what extent you exercise control over your destiny. I know the difficulty is for you to be able to bridge the gap between that control and absolute freedom from Cameroon. I've explained that a couple of times, and that is the job of leadership. And we are well equipped to bridge that gap, and it will come so sudden, you would hardly understand how quick that was. So your forces across the territory are doing well. Also thanks to your commitment. For the first time, the Ambazonian Governing Council launched a monthly commitment to homeland. I have always advised advisors and top aides that this is not some charity where people donate. People commit. It's an obligation to commit in the face of tyranny and systematic oppression. And so thanks to that commitment, the defense leaders are able to procure to a certain extent the material that our forces need. And since today we wanted to talk about MESAM, I want to thank the OGC, the coordinator for MESAM, the deputy coordinator, for the marvelous work they are doing in MESAM. Some times ago, they always ask where the ADF was. I know La République is still asking those people planted in the Liberation War whose only job is to undermine the Ambazonian Defense Forces. They keep asking, but the ADF keeps performing. There would be no force. And I say this not out of bias, based on experience, how these things are done. There will be no force that would rival the Ambazonian Defense Forces. It doesn't exist. Not because people cannot constitute it, it's because people cannot maintain it. It takes understanding. It takes knowledge of what you are doing. It takes that kind of leadership that is respected by the forces. And so you can get up in the morning and you say you want to constitute a force, it's going to collapse. It's going to collapse. And that's why I ask you, even if you differ with us, trust in the Ambazonian Defense Forces to guarantee the absolute independence of your country. Trust in it. You don't have a choice. People have spent millions into ad hoc congregations, which they call forces. Yes, these are people defending their blocks. We coordinate most of these blocks, irrespective of which political formation they are answerable to. Because for the soldier on the ground, the most important thing is how to survive. That's their first preoccupation, how to protect one another. And we have built an extensive network. One of our commanders in Bui, him and myself fought in 1996. He reminds me on a daily basis when he communicates. Another one, I think, in same Bui. He's an old man now. But these are people who know their leader, who understand the commitment, who understand our strategy. And so while we are encouraged and still think the block by block remains the only strategy that would undermine Cameroon's legitimacy, we are gradually transforming, different blocks through a sophisticated network of command and control into a defense force that has that discipline and respects that command and control to be able to be respected by the international system. So I can assure you that the ADF is powerful. It may take a while, it's not on a daily basis that you fight in a liberation struggle. There are some months you don't fight. Because at this stage where we control territory, there are times we are doing community work, we are mobilizing the community, we are taking care of health issues, we are doing community education. But our strategic orientation is to undermine the ability of the enemy to impose governance, to exploit resources, and that we have been very successful. In the few months coming, you will see the manifestations in a bigger screen. In terms of our strategy going forward, it remains the same. Continuously assault the regime wherever they rear their ugly head, undermine their ability of governance, make it very difficult for their enablers, infiltrators, and spies to operate within our homeland, publicly demonstrate your ability to control and administer your own territory to win the respect and admiration of those who will recognize you tomorrow. And for us out here, it's to provide that leadership. In a liberation struggle, leadership is all it takes. Otherwise, you can fight like Somaliland for the next 100 years. You can fight like people are fighting different wars. Leadership that knows when to make moves is critical. We need to mobilize the resources. I listened to a comrade talk about people's lack of commitment. I understand that, and I understand the frustration. Ambazonians are enthused. They want their independence. Ambazonians are also broke. This is what we must know. Ambazonians are broke because the colonial system made us to be so programmed. An Ambazonian gets a job where he earns maybe $4,000 and he leaves for $5,000. He stops doing multitasking. Why a Nigerian picks up a job for $4,000, he wants to multiply the earning to $10,000. Why the Ambazonian starts living the life prescribed by the French system. Because the French system designed us to be, we don't work. We don't have a work ethics. The Ambazonians don't work. That's why they are mostly broke. And you can see there is not much that we do. 99% of Ambazonians start a small business, it evaporates in a few months. So those are the challenges. Ambazonians don't build economic system. So we depend on others. We work for others. We don't create opportunities. And that's why you see the commitment of the Amazonian is weak. And secondly, those who really have the money, the very few who have the money are not committed to the grassroots. They will not give you the money because for them, they've owned power. The scratch my back, I scratch your back approach has been what sometimes has given them the opportunity to earn what they have. And they don't want you and myself to be any close to power because we come with the principles of merit. Nepotism doesn't exist. There's no compensation because you give a commitment and then you'll be compensated with a portfolio. That's why amongst us, you find the grassroots who mobilize for everyone. They want to support systems where there is freedom, but they are prioritized based on the commitments that they have made. So this bottom-up approach is what we will have to live with this reality. And I just want us to mobilize more, get more people like Obama did, like Bernie Sanders did, the $5, the $10, get 1,000 people to come to that on a monthly basis. We may crowd, but we are emotional, and I can assure you that we'll make it to the end. At the diplomatic level, in the next few hours, our diplomatic team, I think next 30 minutes, our diplomatic team, our experts will be meeting to review our strategy in a couple of things that are going on. So we are confident where we are. Cameroon is delegitimized, is undermined, is bankrupt. And we have to manage this transition in a careful way so that infiltrators and enablers don't rock the boat and create the kind of instability that will give the system reasons not to maintain the status quo or support Cameroon as they did in Syria for the status quo to prevail. So I'm confident where we are in terms of all our strategies put together. We've had a series of meetings. October 1 is coming. We're planning extremely very well. Some people say last year it was surprising. No, for us it was not a surprise because you worked for it. There were preparations, and we have to double that effort in making sure that we can take this. My people, I know you think there is confusion in your liberation. This is the nature of this liberation struggle. It has been the nature of liberation struggle. I want you that we provide. The men and women that you listened to today, I heard a comrade, I think in South Africa, talked about Mangia. She didn't like guns before and the strength that she demonstrates now. There are qualities that are emerging from us that I think will be very, very crucial for the period of governance. Count on this leadership. Don't be confused. Don't accept the confusion that is deliberately being imposed to justify why our struggle is innate. You may not like the way we speak. You may not like the way we do stuff, but you can be damn sure that's the only thing that has worked. That's the only thing that has worked, and that's the only thing that will work. You will prevail over Cameroon. There will be no arrangement. There will be no reconciliation with the butchers of our people. There will be no restorative justice. It will be punitive. There will be accountability for the murder, the genocide, the crimes they've committed against us, the looting, the deliberate policies that have made us so poor and wanting, and that has affected our dignity. We will not replace South Africa. There will be no replay of Zimbabwe. There will be accountability. And I want you to be steadfast. Those who prevail are those who don't blink. It is not easy. We rarely sleep, but freedom is not for those who sleep. Thank you very much. And I hope that your presence here today is a testimony of your commitment to MESAM. We will take it over. We know what we are talking about. Commit and trust in us. God bless you all.
There is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, Shooting is going on there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going on there. There is shooting, there is shooting. Shooting is going on there. There is shooting, there is shooting. Shooting is going on there. Yongamo, Yongamo.
Last time, one fight soldier.
Yongamo,
No, fight soldier.
Yongo, Yongamo. Yes, I'm a Yongo, Yongo, Yongo. Yes, I'm a to where I want.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Comrade Abu. Thank you, everybody, for all the sacrifice you're making as far as our liberation is concerned. Thank you for all the contributions we've made today to keep MESAM working. There is progress in the international system, partly because of the progress we're making on the ground, and ensuring that we keep the ground where we need to be is of critical importance. Not to take so much of your time, I know this is about strengthening ground zero. And at the beginning of this struggle, we developed a triad approach with three key elements: self-defense on the ground, diplomacy or internationalization within the international system, and the continuous mobilization of our people both on the ground and in the diaspora. These are like three stones of the fireside. If one of the stones is not there, the pot will crumble, the pot will fall, and the fire will go out. So while work is ongoing on the ground, we are also pushing within the international system. As you all know, a couple of weeks ago, the Ambazonia Governing Council put it clearly to the UNDP, the United Nations Development Program, that its activities on the ground based on allowing itself to be instrumentalized by Cameroon constitute the enabling of genocide against our people. And I can assure you that the UNDP has taken that message, and we'll see how it goes from there. In other words, any action that the UNDP is carrying out on the ground using money from Cameroon constitutes the legitimization of the occupation of our homeland by the enemy. And we will not spare any efforts to shoot down anything or anyone who attempts to promote such illegal occupation of our territory. At the very heart of why we struggle, at the very heart of our liberation struggle, is the fact that the very presence of Cameroon in our homeland is illegal occupation of territories and annexation of our homeland. And as such, anything that has to do with that annexationist country in our homeland is unacceptable. There are also other significant movements in view of the eventual mediation, eventual negotiations that should hopefully bring this conflict to an end and bring us the freedom that we desire, the freedom that we deserve, the freedom that has been denied us for over 180 years, when the British and then the German and then the British and then the Cameroon stepped foot in our homeland. There is significant progress that we have made in that regard, and at the fullness of time, the people of Ambazonia will get to know. What we can assure you is that everything is moving as we envision, everything is moving as we planned. Diplomacy is slow, but it eventually delivers. It is slow precisely because you're dealing with a game of different interests. If you're fighting on the ground, there are times you can initiate things of your own and execute it that very evening. If you've gathered your intelligence well enough, you can pick up your gun and shoot a bullet anytime you want in the air. But when you're dealing with diplomacy, it's not always the same. You're dealing with varied interests. You're dealing with all kinds of political games that need to be played. The interest of Ambazonia is paramount. One thing that we have faced in this liberation struggle has been that individuals and groups have used diplomatic overtures for self-posturing. And that is what has destroyed different diplomatic efforts in this liberation struggle. Whether it was with the Swiss, the Swiss showed up, it became a matter of political posturing, an attempt to get legitimacy as a group. Instead of talking for Ambazonia, individuals tried to use those things to talk for themselves. The same thing not too long ago, the state party, La République du Cameroon, made its own overtures in Yaoundé, and individuals attempted to use it for their own political posturing within the liberation struggle, rather than asking what is good for Ambazonia. We will continue to make sure that any step that we take, we are merely instruments in this thing. And there is no guarantee that on the day we sing Freedom Land in Boya, any of us is going to be around. There is absolutely no guarantee. We may all be where General Ivo is. So what is the point in posturing ourselves instead of posturing the Ambazonian people? We'll continue to work, and work is ongoing in that regard. I can assure you, and it is yielding fruit. It's yielding fruit. We need to keep the fire on the ground. We need to keep the fire on the ground going to make sure that we cement and seal what we are doing in the international system. One of the things we've been pushing, I did mention this last time, is you've had a lot of countries say, we recognize the territorial integrity of Cameroon. Even Ambazonians, I would say, recognize the territorial integrity of Cameroon. All we say is that that territory begins from Chad, extends to Central African Republic in the east, extends to Nigeria in the west, and ends at the Mongo and at the Matazan. So we likewise recognize the territorial integrity of Cameroon. What you've been hearing in the international system is we recognize the results of the 1961 plebiscite, 11 February 1961 plebiscite. And we, of course, have said yes. We don't deny the results. But what we say is those results did not ipso facto make Ambazonia a territory of Cameroon. If it did, then UN Resolution 1608 Operative Paragraph 5 would have been unnecessary. The northern part automatically joined Nigeria. There was no call for the northern part to then enter into any discussions on a union treaty with Cameroon, with Nigeria. But because southern Cameroons operated a parliamentary system, there could have been no joining. There could have been no union. Cameroon had no authority over our land without a union treaty. And no such treaty exists, and says the very presence of Cameroon in our territory is illegal. They need to get out. They need to get out. And the last point that we've been pushing on has been, okay, you foreign nations, you say you recognize the territorial integrity of Cameroon. Do you recognize the right of the people of Ambazonia to self-determination? How that self-determination plays out is for the people of Ambazonia to decide. It's not for anybody. That's the very nature of that inalienable right. It's the right of the people to decide their future, not for anybody to decide it for them. Do you recognize that right? And I can assure you today, we have begun cracking that ceiling. Countries have begun writing back to us saying, yes, we recognize the right to self-determination under international law. And in the days ahead, the president will be speaking more on that. We have cracked that particular code. It's very necessary in the Declaration of Principles. It's very necessary in establishing the path forward as far as our struggle is concerned. So we're making huge progress. We are cracking the ceilings. And I can assure you, if we maintain the fire on the ground, if we don't screw up, and by screw up, I mean we take things that have to be for Ambazonia and we try to make them personal things. We try to use them for our own self-projection. We try to make the matters of social media discourse instead of allowing them to mature, instead of allowing them to grow for Ambazonia, instead of allowing them to get to the point where we get the results that we want. If we take that route of social media posturing in an attempt to gain self-political legitimacy here and there, we fail. We fail. We will speak with Ambazonia for Ambazonia in one voice. We will speak for Ambazonia together. I can assure you there is freedom, and freedom for Ambazonia is coming. Remember, this week we had an important meeting, multilateral level, with different parties within our struggle, and we were all speaking in one voice. I was proud at that particular meeting. You know, I was specifically proud to hear the different groups within the tripartite circle of the consortium, the AGOC, the IGCare, all speaking in one voice, maintaining one position. And that is the path we need to take as we move forward with these multilateral diplomatic engagements. Thank you. I hear you.
There is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, shooting is going there. To where? I want to go to Boya. I heard that shooting is going there. There is shooting, shooting is going there. There is shooting, shooting is going there. Yongamo,
National one fight soldier.
Yongamo,
fight soldier.
Yongamo. Yes, I'm a Yongo. Yes, I'm a to where I want.